Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy Rainwaters, an interspecies intuitive channel, also known as an animal, nature, and all things mystical communicator. And I have a message today that has been showing up for the last couple of years, primarily with the horses that I work with. And it's been this message around freedom. And I don't think it's uncommon, to think of, as we step into a communication state with animals, that when they start talking about freedom, the first place my mind went to was what we would refer to as a species appropriate environment. And my question and the way I framed it back to them is, is this request for freedom truly a request for, space, friendship, being able to live where you can have physical connection with one another and be able to move about in a way that's really appropriate for your species? And the horses were immediately like, well, yes, that is incredibly important. That's not entirely what they mean. And what I found so interesting is they kept pointing to it's not just freedom for us as a horse, it's the freedom for our human counterparts as well. I first want to say, when we're stepping into a state of animal communication or communicating with nature or, beings in more of the etheric realms, our belief systems and how we view our place in the universe or the cosmos to me is critical. I firmly believe that animals are here as spiritual and energetic allies and guides to help us as humans open our heart. They're here to really help us reconnect not only to our soul self, but into our authenticity and our inner truth, but to also help us find a way to deeper connection with one another and all of nature. So that's really informing my viewpoint of how I hold this information. So as I started to have more and more horses coming forward with this idea of freedom and really talking about the need for freedom for themselves and for their humans, I really asked them to really throwing that back of like, can you say that in another way that will help my human mind make sense of the information? And they pushed me towards this idea of what if we view freedom through the lens of sovereignty? So when we look at the concept of sovereignty, what I've sort of refined it down to me, sovereignty means to be self-referencing. And to be sovereign is to take deliberate, and for me, it's like daily actions towards my higher alignments. So to me, that is what is my personal ethos? What are the guiding principles, the beliefs and the values that reside within my being that I want to live my life through? So I would also say, like, what is that energetic filter that I'm carrying through into the outer world that sort of serves as my guiding principle as I move through life? And to really be sovereign is to understand, what is important and true for us. What are the higher alignments, of our human self and our soul self? And can I be the walking embodiment in this lifetime? Now, to me, this is a constant practice. It's a constant evolution. It's not about perfection, but it's just about really doing a deeper exploration as to who we are. So sovereignty, can we be self-referencing, meaning can we always check in with our heart, our soul, the deeper wisdom that lives within us, and then to make decisions in our life accordingly? And the animals across actual multi-species have always talked about sovereignty and ultimately freedom is found from being in alignment with your heart. So I want to say that again. So sovereignty and ultimately freedom is found through living within the alignment of your heart. So one of the energies that I feel such a deep resonance with, and the energies that I often turn to when I channel to gain deeper insight and wisdom, is the collective consciousness of the animal kingdom. So looking at that collective energy of all of the animal species on the planet and really going to them like this overlighting of energy to gain guidance and wisdom of, how can I help animals? How can I help humanity? And how can I help steward the earth? So when asking this collective energy of the animal kingdom to help me understand freedom and sovereignty, their message was, one cannot be truly free when you disregard the wisdom and the guidance of the heart. So again, it was always a redirection to, when we're faced with challenges in life or uncertainty, can one always come back to our heart? I then went to the collective consciousness of horses or all of the equine beings on the planet to And really, the question is, can you help me understand freedom and sovereignty from your perspective? So, the message from all of horses, or this collective consciousness of equines, was it is a tremendous act of courage to step into the heart. To see and experience the world through the eyes of the heart is an act of strength, fortitude, and it ultimately leads to bliss. And to me, again, it's this deep invitation for all humans to me, like I would describe it as, can we walk in the world as truth, capital T truth, so our inner truth, our deeper alignment, and can we begin to see the world through the eyes of our heart? Meaning, can we see everything, not from a place of judgment, but can we be really open to, like, how does this make me feel? What is the deeper calling here? How can I show up while still staying true to myself, but also having compassion for all that is existing and unfolding before us? The next animal species that I went to were our feline friends, our beloved, kitty companions, and the collective consciousness of cats from their perspective of understanding freedom and sovereignty. They had to say that living from the heart is an act of faith. It's a leap of faith. The heart knows all. It knows every lifetime, every connection, and every action. All wisdom flows through the heart, and freedom comes through knowing oneself and living accordingly. So, again, it's this beckoning of what is real and true for you, and how can you live in the highest alignment of that? And then from our canine friends, our dogs, our lovely heartfelt companions, say that the heart is a great capacitor of light and unlimited resources exist within the heart space. And they sent me this beautiful imagery of our heart being like a beacon of light. And when we can be courageous enough to really settle into a heartfelt kind of expression, a heartfelt experience of who we are as a being and how we can walk through the world, that it is like a tremendous, I would say, like a portal or an opening to deeper information and wisdom. So I really encourage all of you, to really sit in the space of what is real and true for me. Really being curious and open with your animal companions and friends, like even just setting the intention of your mind and asking your animals, can you show me and teach me how to live in alignment with my heart? And without our minds becoming too critical or judging or analytical, you may feel or hear or just get this idea of a message coming back to you. And that is primarily how animal communication and all intuitive communication works. But it may be small, tiny actions that your animals take throughout the day that inspire you to live differently, walk in the world differently, or move differently. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do want to say, for any of my friends here that are watching this video that perhaps have a deeper feeling that your animals are more than just an animal, or that you really feel into this spiritual wisdom and these deep energetic and intuitive gifts that different animals can offer in our lives, I do have a workshop series, and it's called The Spiritual and the Energetic Gifts of Animals. And it's this beautiful exploration of, we look at cats, horses, dogs, and birds. And I run through like these animals, their starseed connections, the gifts and the energies that each of these species are anchoring here on planet Earth, and their collective consciousness of each species. Like, what is their mission for humanity and for the planet, and how can we really open to their deeper wisdom? So I'll put a link below in the description box. And if you feel curious, I would love for you to check it out. I wish you guys a deeply heart connected week ahead, and I'll see you soon.